children.
Welcome, dear explorers, to Knowledge Island. Today I will show you a puzzle that sounds funny, but it leads us straight to how our brain and senses work. We will find out why a person can laugh and pull away when someone else touches them, but when they move their own hand, the same trick hardly works at all. Come and discover this unusual fact about tickling with me. At the Discovery Meadow, I met Armadillo and Capuchin Monkey. Armadillo said that a person cannot tickle themselves because the fingers are too obedient, and the skin srazu recognizes its own hand, like a familiar guest, so it no longer feels surprising. Capuchin Monkey thought the body is just being cautious, because when someone brings their own fingers toward their sides, the muscles may tighten in advance, as if waiting for laughter, and spoil the surprise. Their ideas made me smile, but I explained that the main reason is different. The brain can predict our own touch, so it weakens how strong it feels, while someone else's touch is more surprising. At the Time Lantern, I met Tiger and Sloth. Tiger told me that when he moved a blade of grass along his side himself, it hardly bothered him at all. But when someone else made the same movement, it was much harder for him to stay still. Sloth added that the same thing can happen with a light touch on the foot or neck, because when a person makes the movement themselves, the body seems to know in advance what it will feel like next. When the touch comes from someone else, the reaction becomes stronger and more sudden. I summed it up by saying this is a very good example, because predicting our own movement is exactly why self-tickling is much weaker than unexpected touch from another person. At the Question Meadow, I met Toucan and Turtle. I asked them what they knew about why we cannot tickle ourselves. Toucan answered that during our own movement, the brain predicts where the touch will happen and how it will feel, so it weakens the sensation. Without surprise, the body does not react as strongly. Turtle added that this is why another person's touch tickles more, because it is less predictable. And when the time or way of touching changes, the feeling can become stronger, because the brain is no longer predicting it so well. I praised them for their great knowledge and explained that tickling is strongest when the touch surprises the nervous system. Dear young researchers, today you learned that a person cannot easily tickle themselves, not because they are doing it wrong, but because the brain can predict its own touch. You now know that surprise plays the biggest role here, and when it is missing, the reaction becomes much weaker. I hope that from now on you will see simple laughter during tickling as a smart job done by the senses and the brain. See you on more fascinating journeys across Knowledge Island.